are! Big Blue! We are! Big Blue! We are! Big Blue! During the whole session, okay, if I can just get quiet while I'm explaining things and while we're stretching, you can schmooze freely. It's very important that we breathe not from our chest, but from our stomach. We want to do diaphragmatic breath. So I fill my stomach with air and I release. Fill my stomach with air and release, as opposed to breathing like that. Okay, so we're going to get into this 90-degree position. We're going to bring our belly button in line with our knee, and we're just going to go all the way to the floor. Okay, make sure you don't round your spine too much. Try to keep your chest as upright as possible and hang out in the end range of motion as much as you can. Okay, bring your front leg a little more forward. Ivrit, Anglit, Aravit, Mashi Zorim, Tsarfatit. Okay, no, you want to keep it at a 90-degree angle. Hang out. Take that deep diaphragmatic breath as you hang out. I don't speak French, but I speak Hebrew, English, and a little Arabic for Ahmed. Ahmed's not here. He's not here. He's too busy showing off his videos where he didn't get a sack and he shoved the lineman down. He didn't shove the lineman down. Good. Come back up. We're going to rotate all the way as far as possible from our knee, and we're going to go all the way down. Same concept in maximum rotation. Okay, our hip rotators tend to get very tight as we move a lot. Hang out. Hang out. Hang out for 10 more seconds. 9, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to come back up. Now we're going to go all the way into internal rotation, and we're going to be facing our toe, and we're going to go as far down as we could. Don't sacrifice bending your spine to get down. Just go as far as your body allows while you're still internally rotated. Say that again. You don't? Your body doesn't do it because it's something you've never really explored before. So flexibility and mobility are similar to speed. It's something the more you work on, the better you'll get at it. Just try to hang out in the range of motion that you could. Deep breaths. You look comfy.
It's very comfortable.
Deep breaths. A lot of sweat and blood went into this field. And vomit and concussions and LCL ligaments. Sweet. Exactly. Good. We're going to shift our hips a little bit this way. There go to the left. We'll see who's more bachanim, as I said, defense or offense. Hands are going to come here. At minimal use of your hands, we're going to try to flip our hips as best as we could. You look, hey! Receiver's got it down. Okay, and we're going to flip it again. Okay, trying to get the 90, trying to minimize sliding as much as possible. Okay, externally and internally rotating the hips. Mitsuyan. Good. We're going to do the other leg now. I'll just switch so I can face you. Same concept. Rotate the belly. We always want to have this rotation. We don't want to just collapse our spine. Rotate the belly button so it's in line with the knee. And same concept. We're going to go all the way down to the floor. You got it in reach. What's Ramat Yisrael looking like this year? Yesh Eastman and Eastman. Yesh Farkas and Farkas.
No Farkas. They don't have Farkas.
Donnie's going to take 50 carries for that.
Yesh Michalov. No, Michalov Beersheva.
And he's ACL.
When did it happen? That's not good. He never fully recovered. When did it happen? When did the injury?
I think after doing his recovery, he ended up playing in the Euros. Right after. Like, they say they rushed him.
The biggest problem with our sport is that all these like they're playing in the flag and the tackle and the this and the women's and the men's and the coach. They wind up 17 practices a week, very little time to actually get stronger, and you
have to pay for your own therapy.
Yeah, it's tough. And okay, we're gonna go all the way up. We're gonna go all the way into external rotation. Hang out. Focus on the breathing. What's up, Jerome? I just like pictured you. You're like looking at me. I'm like, I know that guy. Hang out, and now we're gonna go all the way the other way towards our feet. Once again, this is usually the hardest for people, especially us linemen who we like can't move. You know what I mean? And we're just gonna go all the way down. Cool. We're going to get into a lunge or tripod position, okay? And what I was saying to the defense before as well, the classic way we stretch the hip flexor, hip flexor stretch, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to revise that a bit. Okay, so everyone's going to get into that lunge position. I'll wait for everybody. And what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze our glute. Okay, glute is a fancy way to say, but some people don't know what it is. Okay, we're going to squeeze our glute, and keeping it engaged and squeeze, we're just going to gently lean back. Okay, squeeze that glute and lean back as far as you could. And focus, you with us?
I'm almost with it.
Squeeze the butt.
It's always squeezed.
It's always squeezed and go as far back as you can. I'm good. I just felt my own, I'm good. And hold. Okay, squeeze and hold and go as far back as you could. Make sure that if you don't keep it squeezed, you're just gonna collapse into a spinal fault, So we want to keep the glute engaged, go as far back as we could. And we are going to release. Good. This hand, my outer hand, my right hand for you if you're mirroring me as well, is going to go down to the floor. And we're going to start pushing to the end range of motion. Okay? Now, there's two things we're doing. One is we're pushing to the end range. We're hanging out there a bit. What's up, bro? But we're also being dynamic. So we're not just going to the end range. We're going back and forth, pushing our leg out as much as possible. Opening up this. What's up? Yes. Yes. The 90-90? The 90?
No, when you do it incorrectly and you're like bouncing in your stretches and you hurt yourself.
Oh, okay. So there's a few different types. It's a great question. There's a few different types of stretching or mobility training. Static stretching is not so useful. Like static, like I just let's say okay, hamstring, let me just hang out here for 5 years. Unless I'm trying to improve that end range of motion. So if I'm like alignment, I can't get into that deep squat position, but I must get into that deep squat position to perform, so hang out in the deep squat position. If I'm a jiu-jitsu fighter and I need it, not jiu-jitsu, in whatever, martial arts, someone help me out here. I need to get to that high kick. So you do want to hang out with your leg like elevated for a few minutes. Dynamic mobility is more for a function as athletes. We're very rarely static. We're always moving. So our stretching practice has to be movement oriented as well, which is why the dynamic warm-ups we do on the national team are so moving. I'm not going to sit and stretch you for 5 hours before the thing. This is different because it's cooling us down, opening up our pain for tomorrow's game, which is why we're hanging out in end range. This I wouldn't do before a practice or a game. I do it at the end or the kirat, the good game. Good. Now's the fun part. Once again, the contest of defense and offense starts right now. We're going to bring our elbows as far down to the floor as we can. Now, for those who just snorted, if you can't bring your elbows to the floor, that's okay. Everyone works in their own individual range of motion. But take a deep breath and try to deep breath and go a little bit further down. Deep breath, a little further down. Deep breath, a little further down. Hang out. Hang out. You look like a, what's it called? A lizard. Good. One hand's going to stay down, and the other is going to go all the way up to the sky. And now's when I walk around and help you put the shoulder. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Mitsuya, let's help you out here a bit. Good. Okay, we're trying to open up our thoracic spine, which is a fancy way to say our upper back. Okay, remember, if tackle football, our whole body's working. It's not just our legs. You're good. I'm just going to move you here a little bit more. I'm going to open you up a little bit more. Looks good. All day, baby. Okay? Fantastic. Hang out. And now, same position. Now we're just going to switch which side we do. So now one hand went up. Now the other hand is going to go up. This hand, say it again? Same stance. We didn't switch sides yet. Our shoulder, now it's a little bit different. Our shoulder's pushing our hips open while our hand's going up to the sky. Okay, you want to try to keep your heel on the floor, so bring this leg a little bit more forward. Good. And if you notice, your shoulder's actively opening up this leg while the other hand's being open. This is called the world's greatest stretch for a reason, because so many things are being pushed to an end range of motion. Your hips, your shoulders, your scapula, your spine, so many things are just being opened up at once. Okay, we're going to hang around for 3 more seconds.
Yeah.
3.
I didn't realize we were that short on offense.
And 2, and 1. Fantastic, good. Shake it out for a second. We're not switching sides quite yet. We're almost there. We're going to bring our hands to the floor, not our elbows this time. We're going to elevate our back leg. Once again, we're going to, what's your favorite squeeze? We're going to squeeze our glute. And keeping our glute engaged without bending the knee, try to bring the hip to the floor. Jerome, your back leg, try to lock it out or straighten it out to the best of your ability. And try to bring, there you go. That's how you stretch hip flexor. Whenever you stretch hip flexor, you want to keep your glute nice and squeezed. Okay, hang out, hang out, hang out. Fantastic, good, relax. You can relax your hands. Now, you're going to take your hands, you're going to place them on your knee, or right above your knee. And you're just going to shove your knee over your ankle, keeping your heel on the floor. Now, we've all sprained our ankles 32 times. This is the go-to, okay? When you sprain your ankle, you lose your ankle mobility. If you lose your ankle mobility, you're going to sprain your ankle again and again. Then you're going to put on braces in the game. And then 3 years later, you can't play ball anymore, because kind of what happened with Mikhailov, right? Although it was that knee. Push end range of motion constantly. You can do it with the band. You can do it with the weight. You can do it with the kettlebell. Push end range of motion. Super duper important. Try to keep your heel on the floor. Because the second I lift my heel up, I'm just cheating the range of motion. I want to get to here. And then we're going to rock back into a hamstring stretch. Okay, trying to open to the end range as much as possible. Now, whenever we do a hamstring stretch, what don't we want to do? We don't want to round our spine, because the second we round our spine, we take all the load off the hamstring and we dump it onto our spine. So you want to keep our chest as upright as possible. Get to the end range again. We're going to shoot forward. 2. Pushing our knee over our toes. How was the walkthrough? Kef, Mishamim. We ready. Push your knee over your toes. Last one. What's Big Blue's
Nothing. We just show up with the energy.
show up and win. Show up and win. Push over. You don't have like a break or something before the game? You don't have like a hype up?
We are Big Blue. We sing like religious songs.
And then you go to the fans and go, hey! Sweet. We're switching sides. Ikhlafnu tzadim. Switching sides, okay? Just eyes on me for 1 second. Sorry, appreciate the combo. All good while we're stretching. I was explaining, no problem. Switching sides, hip flexor. Squeeze the hip flexor, push to end range. Okay, remember, very important. I'll do it from the side. I don't want this. Then I'm just doing nothing, hurting my back. Squeeze the butt and push as far possible as my quad and hip flexor can tolerate. You good? That's your boo-boo knee. So take your boo-boo knee ba'adinut. Give it some love. Do it slowly. Don't try to like, maybe put like something soft under your knee. By the way, those who want to take their shoes off momentarily, you're welcome to, because we're going to get to that part. Just makes it easier. Squeeze, hold, and relax. Good. Hand goes down to the floor. And we push the leg out to the side. Okay, constantly. Really here, you're trying to, you know those like, once again, they're a little annoying, like adductor pulls, groin pulls, hip flexor pulls, all these happen in games a lot. This is what stretches that area. So push to end range, and then what mobility is, you get your body used to being in the end range, and then when you cut and deaccelerate wrong or whatever, and then you get shoved or tackled, your body's used to being in the end range. That's exactly what mobility is, getting comfortable in funky positions, which is why mobility is an important aspect of athleticism. Pushing out and hang, come back to the middle. Good. Both elbows are going to go to the floor. Deep breath in. For those who can't reach to the floor, take a deep breath. For those who are struggling, notice which side is harder. The side that you're getting harder to over, that's your tighter side. That's the side you want to spend more time mobilizing on. Okay, hang out, hang out, hang out, and 3 more seconds. 2 and 1. One hand's gonna go to the sky. Awesome. Walk around again. You got this, bro. Okay, the winner is offense. Defense didn't stop complaining. Yeah, but isn't there a thing like offense wins games, defense wins championships? So that's what the defense says and the offense says. And then the guys play both sides. Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. 1 second, so when your hand and you want to do it, you rotate, you rotate. I think I said that on recording. I gotta be careful. They're gonna sue me after. They're gonna come to my house and I come to my house, there'll be D linemen waiting for me. Okay, we're switching sides. Okay, now we're at the side with. We're at the side with the knee. He's what position do you play? Nice.
Yoga instructor.
Exactly. All the way up.
Definitely do that.
Awesome. Okay, and spend like 5 more seconds there. Once again, we really want to open up what we call our thoracic spine as well, which is our upper back. Okay. You got limited shoulder mobility. That's exactly why we're doing this right now. Okay. Ooh, I feel the restriction. Okay. This whole thing is being filmed so I could send it to you guys. And like, oh, my shoulder's hurting. Let me reference the shoulder part that Sean did. Okay. That's why we have a huva here. 3 for a huva already. That was a lame one. We'll do it after. Okay, good. We're going back to the tripod stance and we're shooting up our back leg. Squeeze that glute, and while it's squeezed, try to bring the hip to the floor. For those who are dealing with injuries, LCL, ACL, ankle, nose, toes, heads, whatever, treat it with, delicacy. Listen to your body, see what hurts, see what doesn't hurt, and play around with the end range of the motion that you can do. And 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands above your knees. Once again, if you want to load this up, if you're in the gym or whatever, you have some equipment, you can take a kettlebell, you can take a ball, a medicine ball, you can take your friend, put it above your knee and load up while keeping your heel on the floor. You can also take a band and wrap it around your ankle. Shoot over your toe. What? That's more hip. For an ankle band, like to help with ankle mobilization, I'd wrap the band around the ankle.
No,
that's something. I'm talking about the ankle now. You're also feeling the hip because the back hip is an extension as well. I'll send you a video if you're curious about the ankle. Now that we're boys on the social, right?
On your account, that's it.
What the?
I made it.
You're famous. You are famous. The sled, the slow-mo sled, right? With the left leg, like dragging behind. No, so I speak about it. I speak about like the sled, right? Shoot over.
Don't do what this kid is doing.
Exactly. Not quite, but it was like you see like 4 or 5 different like types. I do the national team: sled pushes, sled pulls, and I was speaking about sled training for speed development. You see different people running in different ways or whatever it is. Then we break down really how to get faster, which is not just sleds, plyometric work, rate of force development stuff, sprinting, so like there's so many, obviously weightlifting, heavy, power, all that stuff. You get range of motion. Push again, knees forward, and all the way back. Someone with a watch, what time is it? Game time. Afrad?
10:05.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I figured. One guy had a watch. It's fine, it's fine. Okay, stand up, shake it out. Let's just assess for a second. How's your squat feel after really opening up the legs? Does it try to keep your heels on the floor? Does it feel looser than usual? Do you feel nice and good? Okay, we pretty much opened up. That's amazing. Besides that, say it again. Okay, we just opened up literally every possible aspect of the lower body that we could. So you want to feel nice and tight. Fantastic. Grab your toes. There's the front part, the elbows on the inside, and pick your chest up as much as possible. What position am I now? A squat, a frog. I like that. I'm in a squat position now. For those who do like barbell squatting or dumbbell barbell squatting, when you're in a deep squat, you need to be in an upright position. This is the position. I can't collapse into the barbell, so it's very important that I have the thoracic spine, the upper back mobility. That's also a front squat or the catching of a clean or a power clean. Fantastic. Good. Stand up. Shake it out for a second. Oh, baby. Good. Nice sumo stance. Okay. Now, we've all done before. We were in the warm-up, what do we call it? Spider-Man. Okay. And then we're like, yeah, I tapped my calves. I opened up my adductors. Spider-Man, is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Whatever. I call it lateral lunge. Fantastic. Leaning stretch. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Getting a good stance. When we do the lateral lunge, I want to try to keep my spine as upright as possible, and I can go as deep as my body allows. Now, if I can get to here with my heel on the floor, fantastic. If I can't, hang out in end range as deep as you could. Hang out. Go ahead. Okay, the deeper you can get, but don't shift your weight to the side. Think I'm hinging, so I'm shooting back simultaneously while going to the side. And my other side. Fantastic. Chest upright. Try to keep your heel on the floor. This part is easier without shoes, by the way. Mitsuyan, and we're going to go back to the other side, and this time we're going to pivot with our toes towards the sky, getting some hamstring stretching going on there. Okay, hang out, hang out, hang out, and other side, we're going to add a pivot as well. Now, specifically with this stretch, okay, we spoke about adductors, hamstring, we're always like pulling them. The goal of mobilization, of functional ability for athletes is not just to check it off, it's to improve range of motion. So the second time I do this, I want to see if I can get deeper. The third time I do this, I want to see if I can get deeper. Now, I know I'm exaggerating. Every time you do this, say, can I improve my range of motion? Because then you're preventing injury, and you're getting better at your sport. Okay? Fantastic. Good. Shake it out for a second. Awesome. We're going to a little bit of upper body stuff. So we're going to go onto the floor. We're going to go into what we call, everyone can go back onto our, we're going to go on our knees. We're going to do what we call a little bit of cat-cow, spinal flexion extension. I want you to lead the motion. Okay, eyes on me just for a second while I explain. You good? You're good? We're going to, I was too. We're going to flex our spine, focusing with our neck leading the motion. So our neck begins to full flexion, and then we get to full extension. Our neck leads to full flexion, and then we get to full extension. Okay, flexion, extension every time in a slow, controlled manner. Make sure we're focusing on the diaphragmatic breath as we do it. Everyone look how slowly Jerome is doing it. That's the tempo we're doing. We're not trying to rush. We're trying to move our spine in a full range of motion. Cool. Everyone get 2 more. Okay, head's going to go all the way up and head's going to go all the way down. Fantastic. Finish your rep or finish your half rep, wherever you're up to. And we're going to go into a little bit of downward dog to cobra. So we're going to do 3 things simultaneously. Number 1, we're going to get into a downward dog. We're going to gas pedal a little. Okay, for those who can see, I'll turn the other way as well. Bringing our calves towards the floor one at a time. That's number 1. Number 2, what's the best angle you could see me? I'll just move here. Can you see me as well from there? While we're doing that, I'm consistently trying to push my head and my shoulders through my head through my shoulders as much as possible while I'm doing the gas pedaling. Then we're going to go into spinal extension. Okay, then back into downward dog. Gas pedaling. Got it? Take it away. I'll walk around at some point. What's in your mouth? A toothpick?
Uh-huh.
Like a cleaner thingy?
Uh-huh.
You wear it also in a game?
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Nice,
Go ahead, push through. Okay, I'm just going around. What I'm trying to do is trying to push your head a little bit through your shoulders to really open up that shoulder end range of motion, okay? Especially as offense, you know, we all know how important it is to high point the ball. Sometimes, especially with pads on, it can be a limiting factor. We really want to be able to get our hands as far overhead as possible. And we're going to go into full spinal extension, just like that. Okay, deep breath. What are you doing? So what's happening? Humping the floor?
You do this stretch, and I have a name for it.
This stretch?
Exactly.
But the humping stretch?
No.
Look, there's one stretch called the straddle stretch, like the frog.
Yeah.
If you do it on the beach, bro, you're good to go. Okay? Fantastic. Good. We're going to get into a plank for a second. Once again, no, we're not really doing planks. And we're getting into a plank pike. So a plank pike is the same stretch you just did, just in a shorter lever. We get into the plank, and then we go into a pike. Okay, really opening up the shoulders as much as possible. Exactly, Zaki. The end range of motion looks like a V, but it's dynamic. So we're going into the plank, then we're going back into the pike. We're going into the plank. Your hair's really cool. We're going back into the, you did it today?
Yeah.
No, I'm noticing it more and more now in the light and everything. Okay? We're going into the plank, and we're going back into the pike. Let's get 2 more. How come you're the only one wearing bottoms?
I give it work.
Got you. Sweet. Akol beseder. Exactly. Cool. Okay, everyone could chill out. We're going to move on to a little bit. Does anyone here know what a Nordic curl is? Okay, we've done it in PT, we've done it in therapy. This is called a reverse Nordic. Okay, we're pushing our hip flexor and our quad to the end range of motion. So we're going to squeeze our butt. I'm not trying to omis here. I'm not trying to load here. So it's very, badinut, very simple. Just go ahead, keep your glute engaged. Don't sit down. You're keeping your butt engaged. You're going as far back as you could. Feel a little bit of the stretch and then shoot up. Those with knee issues, do we have any knee issues? Don't push the end range. Just hang out, feel the stretch in the hip flexors a bit, and relax, okay? You could do this at end range if you're trying to strengthen it. In a gym setting here, we're not trying to put too much load. Go as far as you could, and relax. And you don't or you do?
I feel it.
You should be. You're feeling it all the way, your rectus femoris all the way from your hip all the way down to your knee. And if you push it too much, it can actually hurt your knee. Meaning, like anything in life, right? Awesome. Cool. Shake it
My
out.
wife appreciates it.
We're going to quickly do wrists real quick, okay? I didn't get a chance to do this for the defense, so I'm happy I get to do it with you. We're going to rotate our biceps facing forward, so facing me, but your fingers are facing forward as well. Biceps rotated forward, and we're going to gently push to the end range of motion. Okay, we all jam our wrists every day, yeah? In fighting, whatever, helmets, whatever goes on, catching balls, fingers. Catching helmets. No, I'm saying we've all sprained our fingers, whatever it is.
I wish.
And fantastic. Okay, good. We're going to switch to the other side. Same thing. Make sure your biceps are still facing me. Right now we're going to start pushing back. The problem with any contact sport is the unexpected. You can train, you could be D1 level, whatever you want, then you get bashed in the knee by a helmet, and then there goes your LCL. That's just the way it is. So part of mobility training is exploring, these end ranges of motion. So you do fall, and your wrist does fall like that. Your body's like, oh, I do that last night. I'm comfortable with that range of motion. That's what mobility training is. Getting comfortable in all sorts of wonky ways. Cool. Last one. We're going to go. This is the most fun one. We're going to go on the side. Hurts, huh? Keep in mind, like if you guys are doing bench press, push-ups, it affects your mobility. Handstands, especially handstands. Super important for handstands. You have to have good wrist mobility. You're just not going to be able to do it. And shoulder mobility, by the way. Wow, you're into hand balancing and stuff? Amazing. I couldn't get the perfect handstand until I fixed up my wrist. It was quite a process.
You hang out here?
We're going side to side like I am. Awesome. Okay, stand up real quick. We're going to explore shoulders, then we're going to go to the wall, and then we're going to break it down and call it a day. Cool. So, first and foremost, we've all made the mistake of, look, Dad, I warmed up. Yeah, I'm done. Right? Here we're focusing similar to we do. How's everyone's lower body feeling? Feels good? Feeling changes? Feeling a little bit less light, a little bit sore? This whole thing's being filmed, so I can send it to you guys after, okay? Shoulders. Instead of just trying to check it off, we're going to go very, very slow. We're going to take our right hand. We're going to go across our body. We're going to go all the way up, stand guy, and all the way over. Now, when you get here, this was a discomfort. This was like, oh, my shoulder. Don't compensate with your spine. Stay straight and hang out in the end range a little bit. Feel what's going on. Push to the end range. Everyone see what's happening. All the way to extend, full extension now. And then we're going to come all the way forward. We're going to do 10 of those, or 9 more. Now, this is also useful. Can also be done with bands or a broomstick. Bands are amazing because what does a band do? It pulls me apart even further. But we don't have bands here, and you know you don't always have bands in your home. So this is just as efficient. It's called the shoulder spin up. You're gonna do 10 forward and 10 back, and I'm gonna show you the rest of it in momentarily. All the way back, try to keep your elbow locked. The second your elbow bends, you're losing that end range of motion. Okay? Offensive lineman here? Any? Yeah? Offensive lineman, same thing. I'm getting into my stance. Boom, I need that good overhead range of motion as well. Super important, not just for receivers. Okay, now we're gonna go the other way. Same concept. Now we're gonna go all the way back. What's up? No, I did 5. I did 5 reps. We're not gonna do 10 right now because I want to do new stuff. But for you, we're gonna go the other way now. We're gonna go all the way backwards. It's meant to be done slow and controlled, so I'm happy that you're doing it in a slow manner. It's not. Whereas before a game, let's get it nice and warm. This is more mobility work, and obviously mobility work has its place. You have an hour with the team. Not gonna spend 45 minutes stretching because hey, let's get agility in, let's get cognitive stuff, let's get strength in, let's get power in. It's all about perspective and timing. But if you're sitting on the couch watching the new episode of Mandalorian, The Bad Batch, whatever you guys are into, that's what I'm into. The Bad Batch, good shit, right?
We're waiting for season 3.
Right. No, but The Bad Batch, Oh, and Loki just came out. I have Disney Plus. So. Yeah, nice. Okay, we're gonna get the other shoulder. Other shoulder, we're gonna start from the front, go across your body, end range of motion for the fibers, and all the way up. So I'm saying if you're sitting on the couch with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, dog, whatever you're into, wife, whatever it is. So guys, think about it. I know it sounds silly, but maybe instead of sitting on the couch watching the movie, get into some 90-90, get into some hip flex stretching. You're sitting for an hour anyways. You may as well do some shoulder mobility, even if your wife will look at you strange. My wife has accepted me already. Why are you barefoot again? Yeah, all the way over. I mean, I hope she's accepted me. Okay, we're gonna go the other way now. We're nearly done. Time check. 10:20. Sababa. So we're almost done. They're still walking to the walkthrough. We go all night, baby. Awesome. We're gonna take our hands, go to the side, and we're just gonna go up and over. Start a little bit slower. End range of motion. Each time, keeping our elbow as straight as possible, really opening up the lats. Don't hit your friends in the face. Nice and open. Yeah. Do you guys do like things like this often, like a whole mobility session, or do you have do you warm up properly before practice?
So a few people right now. Yes. Like the 5 people are going to practice on time.
I got you. Okay, cool. Hands are going to go in front, and we're just going to rotate side to side. Each time our shoulder blade is hugging, don't keep your arms so stiff, keep them more loose. That way you can get to your shoulder blade is fully hugging yourself and fully retracting, okay? Fighters or boxers, you really want to get the full shoulder blade retraction and protraction. And now we're going to, hands in front, we're going to open and close a bit. Okay, all our clearing friends, right, they love doing that stuff from the gym. The chest fibers actually go all the way to here, but you should still be bench pressing anyways. Don't waste too much time doing flies. So you can, Jerome, agree, yeah? Bench press, push-ups. Too much flies, buggies, back and forth. Awesome, now we're gonna go up and down a bit. You can start slow, end range flexion, end range extension. End range flexion, end range extension, and then, what's up? And then gradually, don't compromise with your spine. You're kind of like, look, mom, I'm doing it. My body stays stable, and my shoulders doing it. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Mitsuyan, and we're gonna add a little bit of rotation in. So my leg's gonna come in front, touching my upper body, and my hand's gonna come in the back, touching my lower body, and it's gonna look like this. Okay, we're basically internally and externally rotating our shoulder. For those might have some trouble reaching neck, you might even notice a discrepancy between the hands, which is why one shoulder always hurts a little bit more. The shoulder that's tighter is usually our dominant hand. So like every time we bench press, our right shoulder or left shoulder, if you're lefty, is gonna work a little bit harder. And good, bring it into the wall, facing the wall. Our butt is gonna be on the floor as much as possible. We're gonna shoot our legs up as much as possible. We're doing a lying hamstring stretch. So I can help you if you need. Your butt's gonna be touching the ground. Your legs are gonna go all the way forward. Shoot it over. I can help him if he needs. Go, all the way, all the way, all the way. Butt's all the way to the wall, all the way, all the way. Butt touches the ground. Touch the ground with your butt, and try to lock your legs as much as possible. We're gonna hang out in that end range of motion a bit, okay? Your friend, I love how everyone's like getting into funky positions. It's funny, okay? And your friends can help you get there if you seem to be struggling with a bit. hang out in the end range of motion. You want to get a little bit of calf action. You can also press the toes. Okay, now, I don't expect you to get into this position when you're watching them. Go ahead.
I got you.
Just make sure your toothpick doesn't go down your throat when you do it. Okay? Now, I don't expect you to get in this position when watching the Mandalorian, but if you just had a game that day and you're feeling very tight and sore, sitting for 2 hours is not the best idea. You know how we all feel after we go to Haifa to play what's the team of Haifa? The Underdogs. Then we sit on the bus for 3 hours and we feel really, really not good after. And the reason for that is when you sit, everything gets tight and condensed and it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So when you get home, hang out in this, end range hamstring position to try to counter that sitting much. Now, can everyone look at me for a second? I'm demonstrating with, who is this, Jerome? If I want to get some calf action, I can simply press the calves to the end range, but you want to look at his face. So like he's good, he's good, he's good, he's good, he's good. He's chilling. And when he tells me to stop, either by his facial expressions, it's good. Amazing, amazing calf stretch. You can also put a little bit of a weight or a ball or anything up here to get that extra calf range. We're going to hold here for another 30 seconds. Okay, another 20 seconds. Hold the end range. Make sure your butt is on the floor as much as possible. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweet job. Everyone can get up. No one can everyone hang out. The best position, as we discovered, is rolling to the side or fancy backflips. That works too. Do we get a break? What do we break it on? With the defense, it was mobility, but it came out a little gay. So no, it doesn't work. We need more of a fire. There's a game tomorrow, right? Could we do a win? Could we do a win on 3 because the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I like
let's do
that.
it.
I like
On you.
that.
Yeah,
Hey, then a quick QB break it down.
It's QB.
Win on 3, 1 on 3, 1, 2, 3, win!
Yalla boys. Enjoy the night. Go win tomorrow.